What's up YouTube, and welcome to an update on my Game Room Tour 2020 video. This is actually just a little bit of a project I was working on today, just to keep myself busy, because with the state of things we all need projects that can keep us busy. So what I did is dug up some components that I had laying around from prior setups I'd used in the past, and worked them into this secondary game room. This isn't really primarily where I do most of my game playing. I do have my modern TV with all my old systems set up in another room, running through a FrameMeister, so I usually play my systems at RGB. But I do keep this secondary setup just in case I ever need to use my CRT TV, which is helpful for older light gun games, things like that, and some of the systems that I just don't have RGB cables for. So just wanted to go over some of the updates I did today. Basically I added a new receiver and some old bookshelf speakers I had laying around, just to make the sound setup, or the setup in here sound a little bit better. Before I was just using the TV audio, which we all know TV speakers are pretty crap. So really what I did was added this older Denon receiver to the setup, hooked up as many systems through this as I possibly could, and then also added a switch box to hook up a few more systems running through the switch box. So primarily I've got the 8-bit stuff running through the switch box and the 16-bit running through the receiver itself. And then as far as the speakers, I had these older speakers laying around. They're from the early 70s, I believe. They're a pretty rare model. They're by a company called Jamo or Yamo, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And I think they're from Denmark, and these are the J123 speakers. So pretty much overkill for this setup in here, but you know, America was built on overkill, so I think it fits pretty well. So really did some rewiring of all that so it could all run through the new speakers, and then also just kind of changed some systems around as far as how I have them laid out. So let me walk you through what I've got going on for systems. Do have my original NES in here. This is my childhood system that still works like a charm, and that's hooked up and running. I have my Sega CDX system, which has the new laser bear stand for the 32X attachment. So that all works there. So I've got an all-in-one 32X, Sega CD, Sega Genesis, and I can play my Master System games on the setup just after taking off the 32X adapter. So nice compact unit that plays 4 generations of Sega, basically. On the other speaker stand, I'm using this for my Sega Dreamcast sports system. This isn't my primary Dreamcast, but again, just since I had a spare laying around, figured I'll hook it up in here. I'm actually waiting to find my old S-Video cable so I can get this running through S-Video, because that's really the best audio or video hookup that this TV has, so figured might as well maximize what I can. Down here we have a doorstop, also known as the Nintendo 64. Not really a fan of that system, never have been. I've got my Super Nintendo Junior on the right, or Super Nintendo Mini, whatever you want to call it. Second generation Super Nintendo. It's not as robust video-wise as the original Super Nintendo, so that's why I keep it kind of kept in this room, not hooked up to my main setup. I have my original Atari 2600 down here, so I've got that running through crisp RF, which is really as best as you can hope for with that. And then I've got an extra top loader that I don't really have hooked up because this one isn't RGB modded like my other one, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. May put a different system there for that space. And then on the bottom of this side I have my original white PC Engine, and that is hooked up now, as well as the Sega Master System. So even though I can run Master System games through the CDX, if you want to use games that use the 3D glasses, you still need an original hardware for that. So I've got that system hooked up with the 3D glasses just for that use. Unfortunately, it takes up a lot of space, but you know, gets the job done. So let me show you just kind of how I've got all these wired in. Right now you're looking at the PC Engine running Ninja Ryukenden, or Ninja Gaiden, as we know it here in the US. And this is the much later remake that came out for the PC Engine of the NES game, about 3 or 4 years after the NES game came out. So, kind of cool. And then I'm going to use my switch box here. And now we have R-Type running through the Sega Master System. One of the better shooters on that system. We'll flip another channel. Now we have the NES running. And this is the classic Taito game Kickmaster, which really has great music. I think it's pretty underrated as far as that. So then we'll flip to our 16-bit systems. We don't need the switch box for those. I'll do those by remote. And we'll flip over to the Super Nintendo, which is running the Taito classic, Bust a Move, with a very familiar character there. Alright, and then lastly we'll flip over to the Sega Genesis, playing the classic Gunstar Heroes. So, like I said, this is kind of a budget setup just for my secondary game room. I'm not going to put a ton of effort into all this. I would say if I ever do upgrade this, I'd like to put a PVM monitor in here instead of the CRT monitor, but you know, that may be a little bit ways off before I go for that upgrade. So for now, this will do. Thought you would enjoy just seeing how I'm spending my time, since we really all are trapped indoors for the time being. So thank you for watching. Please take a moment, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day or night, wherever you are.